Hey everyone, MTax here, and you're probably wishing on the new banner trying to get big boy Zhongli. But you might have got this cutie, right in the back here, sitting in the back. Well, guess what? She's an awesome little pyro DPS character. I'm a big fan. I really like her. Obviously, if you get multiple constellations, she's going to be cracked. But even at C0, C1, I think she's a good little character. Now, if you are late in the game, right, you've got multiple 5 stars, she's probably not going to out DPS your other 5 stars with cracked artifacts and weapons, right? If you've got a D-Luke and you got a, maybe you got a 5-star catalyst sitting in your bank you want to use, maybe she'll be amazing. Absolutely. But if you're a newer player, if you're a mid-range player, maybe AR 30, 35, this is one of your first characters, she could be a really good DPS. So let's go over a few tips on doing optimal damage with YanFei. This video is sponsored by art, not terrible art, really cool art for any game, anime, anything you could dream of. Displate has it. Displate has a bunch of fantastic designs, so if you search around on their website, I'm sure you'll find the perfect thing to put up on your wall. They give you a protective sticker just like this, and you stick it on the wall. And then you take the magnet, you peel off the plastic, and you put that on there. And then you smash it on the wall and it goes up in like 2 seconds, just like this. Look at this, it's just freaking magic. Look at that. Just look at that. Look at that. What are you waiting for? It's time to spruce up your place and get some amazing art. Put it up in the bedroom. Put it up in the office where you put your gaming stuff. Put it in the bathroom. I don't really care. Maybe you could shower with one of these things. Is that weird? I don't know. I love Displate, and you're going to love it too. So click the link down below in the comment section or the description and buy yourself a Displate today. Hell, buy yourself 10 Displates and you're going to be the art guru of your family. Okay? If you guys buy a Displate today, it would really help out the Tashman. So once again, link is down below, and thank you Displate for sponsoring this video. All right, so obviously, give her the best weapon you can. If you're trying to make her a DPS, she is a DPS. She's not really a support. You want to get something that's got some crit on it or crit damage if you can. That's typically on the 5-star weapons, but there are some other options. But you want to give her as much damage as you can. If you had this Lost Prayer, this is a great book, but any 5-star for the most part will do. But if you have a 4-star weapon, there are some craftable ones that are pretty decent overall, or ones that you can just get from the game through the gacha system. Okay, so weapons are a little tough. Obviously, if you've got a 5-star weapon, use it. And, it depends on what kind of luck you have, which ones you're going to get. Now, the Wid Sith has crit damage built in, so if you have the Wid Sith, this one could be pretty good. I haven't leveled one and used them extensively, but anytime you can get crit damage and crit chance, it's kind of a win. So, I would look for those. And that's definitely going to be a bonus. But if you don't have any of these, you can also use your materials to craft them as well. So if you guys have these, I've got 5 of them. If you have these little blueprint guys, you can craft the weapons as well. And I'll go look at those really quickly and talk about that. Some of these craftable catalysts, I don't think that they're amazing. I really don't think they're amazing. If you could wait for the new region to launch, and if they do bring some more blueprints, I honestly would kind of wait if you can get by with a different weapon. I know that that's tough if you don't have a weapon for this character, but some of these are kind of meh. The passives maybe don't work amazing with them, or don't have amazing synergy, or they don't have amazing substats. But there are craftable ones if you're in a bind. What I would recommend is if you need something to just get started, craft one quickly. Either the Frostbear or the Map Mare. I would probably go with the Frostbear, even though it's not amazing. Just craft one. Use your one blueprint if you desperately need something. And then, honestly, I would just wait, because I don't think any of these are incredible. Now, if you're looking at artifacts, this is it. You would probably want to use the Witch set. There's no reason not to use the Witch set. It's just going to be upping your Vaporize damage and Melt damage. And this set is very good for Pyro DPS characters, and she'd be able to use it and abuse it very nicely. So definitely farm for the Crimson Witch set. And if you are trying to turn her into a main DPS, you need to get the 4-piece set. You need to grind until you have that 4-piece set and hopefully get some good substats on it. If you look in here, she's got like a lot of crit rate and crit damage. She's almost needs more crit damage compared to the crit rate. But always look for those stats and you're going to do more damage. Like as simple as that. Get the Witch set and try to get crit damage on it. Now, all of her passives, she's a very greedy character. You want to leave her on the field generating stacks When you use your E ability and your Q ability, or your elemental skill and your elemental burst, you're going to be getting stacks that you can then use with your charged attack. So if you use her basic attacks, they look like this, right? But if you charge, she's going to slam down. Now, any of your basic attacks, right, are going to be generating a charge. So I've got 1 stack, 2 stack, 3 stack, and now I can use those, and it's going to do some extra damage. But you can also use your abilities to generate those stacks as well. So if I hit them with an E ability, I now have 3 stacks, and I can charge attack. And then I can hit a Q, and I've got all my stacks, and I can charge attack. And so optimally, you would actually want to rotate through your abilities just like this and get these charged attacks off to optimize your damage, and that's going to be the rotation you're going to hunt for. And if you have some support characters, you know, once your abilities are on cooldown, maybe you pop this, you do a charge attack, then you pop this, and you do another charge attack, right? This guy's dead, but at that point, you would probably want to switch to some of your support characters so they can heal or get some other damage out, like from Xingqiu, which I'll show you in a minute. But that would be the main rotation you're going to go through. As I said before, because she's a main DPS, you want crit chance and crit damage, but you really want it because a lot of her damage is based on crits. And if you're not hitting these crits, you're not going to get one of the biggest bursts of damage. This is 80% of her attack value, and this is counted as a charge attack damage. You've got to hit these crits, because every time you don't crit, you're missing out on another burst of damage here. So, very important to get high crit rate. She's one of the characters where on the helmet, I would honestly go for crit rate to make sure that you're maximizing that. Now, my D-Loop doesn't have perfect artifacts, but this is pretty much what you would... Now, my D-Loop doesn't have perfect artifacts or anything like that, but this is kind of what you'd be looking for. So you're going to want a cup that has pyro damage, always. She does 100% pyro damage. You're going to be looking for a cup. Typically, this is offset because it's really hard to get something that's got good stats and everything, but you're going to be hunting for the pyro damage there, and then obviously if you can get crit damage and crit rate, that's going to be a bonus, right? But on all of your stuff, like this has got Elemental Mastery, you probably want an attack damage on the timepiece, but Elemental Mastery can work as well. But again, looking for lots of crit damage and crit chance if you have it. That should be your kind of main priority on all of these if you can. Sometimes you get unlucky. Sometimes you have to spend weeks, but the big key here is getting the witch set as soon as you can and get it cracked out if you want her to hit really, really. Now, we're going to pretend D-Luke is YanFei, but this would be pretty much a perfect team for her. Like, if you're looking at this team, you can't get much better. If you were wishing on that banner, maybe you have Zhongli, and that's amazing. Throw him in. But I'm going to talk about this team because this would be, you know, like super optimal, one of the best teams you could possibly make. But I'm going to shout out a few other characters that can go really well and synergize really well. And, you know, I'm actually going to shout out Diona because you're going to be able to get her for free. And she's also on the banner, and you might already have her. But I'm going to talk about this one first because this is the optimum one that I would recommend. The reason why is because Xingqiu is one of the best supports because he can repeatedly apply Hydro and do a bunch of Vaporize, which I'll show you the combo here. It's going to be very similar when you use YanFei, but I'm going to show you kind of the main combo here and why it's good. One of the other big ones is because YanFei is Pyro, if you do have Bennett, you would also get this bonus attack damage, which is really cool overall. But let me show you what this team can do. So Bennett with his Q ability would typically be our healer. Zhongli is using this to shield everyone on the team and debuff the enemies. Xingqiu places this, which passively applies Hydro to the enemy. It makes you tankier, but also with the Q ability, allows you to use your basic attacks to apply Hydro and repeatedly vaporize. So when you pair all these together, with the shields, with the damage reduction from Xingqiu, and with the repeated vaporize, you're going to be able to do something like this, where I'm able to block, I'm going to be able to hit this, and you can see they've got that Hydro above them, and then you would switch to YanFei and just repeatedly vaporize, 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 vaporize over and over again, and this team would be, like, unbeatably good, realistically, and it would fit perfectly with that character. And if you want to, you know, drop a big Dong Zhongli ultimate and stun them, you can do that as well, right? And then obviously, if you've got Bennett, you can stand in here and you're pretty much immune to damage because it heals so much. But you might not have these characters, right? You might not have this setup going. So I want to talk about a couple other characters that I think are really, really good. I will bring them into the party as well. And Diona is one of them that you probably got from the banner. And if you didn't get it from the banner, you're going to get her from a new event. Looking at this cast of characters, like, obviously, if you've got Ganyu, use Ganyu. Like, you know, like, obviously, if you've got a Mona, use Mona and Vaporize. There's so many different choices you can make. I don't know where your account is, but looking at just 4 stars, Rosaria can be really, really good because she repeatedly applies Cryo. And if we swap out Bennett here for Diona, this team right here, another 4-star, obviously this is going to be YanFei, but this team right here would be really good. You're actually going to get this Shattering Ice, and so you get increased crit rate against opponents that are frozen or affected by Cryo by 15%. Now, remember, YanFei is very focused on crits, and so if you're able to increase that amount of crit rate that you're getting, you're going to be doing a ton of damage with her. So this team would be really, really good, and I'll show her off. Obviously, Zhongli, I'm assuming, you know, you got it off the banner. Maybe you have a different character. Maybe you want to use a Venti. Maybe you have Bennett as well, and you can do both of these, right? Maybe you want to use both of these, and you've got the Pyro and the Cryo. There's so many different combinations, but I want to show off those two because I think that they're pretty damn sweet. So Diona has shields, which is pretty cool. She's also got some healing, so you're going to be able to apply Cryo like that. We've got Zhongli, obviously, for shielding once again, but Rosaria here is the one that's going to be good because she's going to be able to repeatedly apply the Cryo. And when she applies the Cryo repeatedly, that means you get melts repeatedly, which can be really, really good. The timing on it isn't perfect, but it can be very, very powerful. So if you're using Rosaria with YanFei, even if you want to just dash in like that, maybe use one of those and then charged attack or something. There's multiple ways you can make those melts work, but I think that Rosaria is a great character, awesome, awesome character, because it allows you to get those nice hits of melt in, which is a 2x multiplier, right? That's a big amount of damage to get, and if you're applying that Cryo, you're also going to get the bonus crit. And so it's kind of a 2-for-1 combo, and if you can freeze them in other ways, oh my god, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I love this team overall. And just Rosaria and YanFei would be really, really good together. Obviously, I know it's weird that I've got Diluc. I'm just free to play and I can't freaking get her. There's actually one more set that I wanted to bring up, and that's the Wanderer set. Now, if you look at the Wanderer set, this increases your elemental mastery, but also it increases your charged attack damage by 35% for Catalyst and Bow users. And you do a lot of charge attacks, so this could actually be an extremely powerful one. I'm not sure if it's going to out-damage the Witch set, right? The Witch set is, I mean, it's pretty amazing. But that being said, if you are on the way to farming this and you don't have it, maybe you've already got a Wanderer's Troop set, throw that on for now. It can be very, very strong overall. If you want to do some charge damage, that's great. And maybe you can use this to farm a Witch set, you know, that's going to be more optimal. But this can be really strong overall because 35% damage on your charge attacks is nothing to sneeze at, okay? And that's pretty much it for me. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward at this point. If you're a veteran player, you probably don't need this video, but there are a lot of new players that are still playing Genshin, especially with the new players that are joining with the PS5 launching and getting the game there. So, I guess, you know, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped a little bit, gave you some things to think about, and I appreciate you watching.